Hey everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Cameron. This is the first episode of the lead generation YouTube channel series where we show real estate agents how to generate leads using YouTube and online platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube being one of them, and Facebook. So with that being said, guys, in today's video, we're going to be showing you guys and breaking down my frameworks that I use with my clients. I've ran an agency for over 10 years now, and I've helped many clients build six-figure businesses using YouTube and online platforms, growing audiences to over 10 to 30,000 followers. I've personally built a YouTube channel to over 80,000 subscribers. I've been able to generate millions of views, and I want to share with you guys the techniques we use and the frameworks we use to help people generate leads using their social media, because it's one thing to get views, it's another thing to create a system that generates leads. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking that down for you guys. Let's go ahead and hop into the computer and get into this video. So before we hop into the iPad here, you need to remember that this does take time to start seeing results. So you need to understand what it is you're doing and believe in the process. And I find the only way to show people the opportunity that's sitting in front of them is by really showing them a visualization of how it all works and how this will create momentum behind itself and create more and more opportunities, creating less work for you in the future. And it just keeps on growing and keeps on growing. So the way that I visualize this is it's like a funnel. The top of the funnel right here is where all of the attention goes in. And the bottom of the funnel here is where people convert into interested prospective clients. And there's different layers of the funnel where people will fall off. So up here in the top of the funnel is going to be your warm stuff. And then in the middle of the funnel, you'll have your cold stuff. And then at the bottom here is where the gold is. So basically the warm stuff right here is what's going to attract people. So this type of content needs to be searchable. Sorry for the horrible penmanship here. It needs to be tutorials. And I know you're probably saying, well, Cam, I'm watching this video because I don't know what's high value. I don't know what people are going to be searching for. We're going to show you guys that after this part of the process. And then in the cold part here is where people will learn about you. So this type of content is going to get a lot less views than the warm content, but the cold content is going to start converting people into loyal following. And then the gold is where people learn so much that they want to start working with you. So your cold content can be like info on specific areas. It can be strategies. It could be podcasts. It's going to be stuff that is still valuable to your audience, but not very search heavy. It's not going to do as well as your warm content will, but it will be a way for you to inject your personality into the content. So the podcast is a great way to do this. You can start a show and make it very focused around your warm content, which we'll explain more further for you real estate agents. But the podcast I see does very, very well because it's not very difficult to run a podcast. You're a real estate agent. You're very personable. So you have talking skills. You know how to talk. You just need to learn how to present and how to present your voice now. So as a salesperson, you're already halfway there. So it shouldn't be too difficult for you guys. The strategies is what allows you to show your thinking behind the work that you do. So as a real estate agent, you sell homes. So we're going to show them strategies on how you sell a house. We're going to show them strategies on how to buy a house for the least amount of money. We're going to show them strategies on how to invest. You'd think that this stuff gets searched all of the time, but there's so much content being pushed into the online ecosystem that a lot of it is just noise and doesn't get attention. That's why you want to have so much warm content that pulls people into your channel. Maybe 1 in 10 videos will be warm and go viral, but the other 9 videos is where people can actually start learning about you, because it takes one video to capture someone's attention, but the other 9 videos will educate and sell your personality on the viewer. That gold down here is not going to be video. It's going to be through your conversion process. This gold is going to be what attracts. It also can be called a lead magnet. That's why it's bottom of the funnel. The lead magnet can be a buyer's guide, a mortgage calculator, something that you are going to be able to exchange for their information. So something that you can build into a landing page, which we will show in a later video on how to do. It's very, very simple, but you're going to want to create some sort of PDF, some sort of valuable information that you can give away for free in mass without actually having to go and personally send it. I'm going to be showing you guys how to automate that process. It's very, very simple so that you can start collecting people's information, so that you can start sending email drips and you can just blast content out and start hitting the masses, because this is how people can attract a lot of business very, very quickly. There's a lot of realtors that I've seen become hyper successful in their first year, 2, 3 years of real estate because they understand marketing. I think marketing is going to be the key to success when it comes to attracting business. Your personality and your people skills is what's going to allow you to keep the business and keep it running, but your marketing knowledge is what's going to allow you to attract people. So do know that you probably have one of those two things. Just remember to work on whatever you're not as strong at. So getting back into this here, this is how it all works. This is how you're going to want to think about it. I know it's kind of confusing. I know I don't have the best penmanship here, but that is your funnel. Now there's two types of content that you can be making. Long form content. So I'll put long and then short. And before you decide what type of content you want to be creating, let me give you a little bit of information. Somebody who is sitting down and watching a long format video, let's say on YouTube, is very, very interested in what it is you're talking about. They went out and searched for it. So remember that it's going to be a higher intent viewer versus a short form piece of content that's just being shown to your audience. So like I was saying before, it really depends on where you're at in your business. If you have a big database, you probably already have people who trust you. If your content's being shown to them without you having to go out and make those phone calls, that's still very valuable. You just need to decide what is worth your time and what will convert faster for you. So short form content, if you have a big database, it's going to start converting in the next 3 to 6 months. I can't say 3 months from now you're going to get business, but if you have a lot of people in your database and you're not talking to them, chances are they're going to pick up the content that you're creating now and start conversating with you and start talking about different opportunities depending on if you're following this strategy. Long form people who are sitting through a 10-minute video are starting to establish a relationship. So this allows you to build a relationship with people. This piece of content over here makes you become a thought leader because it's much easier to create one piece of short form content every single day than it is to create one long form piece of content every day. It's just basically not possible if you want to have super high valuable content. Remember, this video alone took me about an hour to 2 hours to film versus a short form video I can get done in 10 minutes. So the amount of value that I want to compact into this long format video takes a lot longer. So I can only put out one of these a week versus a short form piece of content of the same value I can have put out every single day because I can shoot them in bulk, do all of my planning in bulk, shoot them all, send them off to an editor, and have them all in a Google Drive or an Asana page with the captions planned out, the covers planned out, everything strategically planned out, so I can just have my virtual assistant schedule that all out for me and have a piece of content going out every single day. So there's two types of content that you should be thinking about. I really think this short form side is for people with a database already. And I mean a database of at least 500 people. If you have a couple hundred people, it's going to work, but it's going to take a little bit longer. You're only going to get a couple hundred views on your video. And the long form video is still valuable to the people who have that bigger database because you're going to be able to attract new people into your database, but you want to make sure that you're getting leads. So the way that you can get leads really, really quick and start falling in love with this online strategy is by putting short form content out to your big database. But if you don't have people in your database, the long format videos are going to attract new people that can become interested people in your database. So this long form is going to be able to build your database, but do remember that you can turn your long form content into short form. You just want to be very strategic with it. You don't want to just cut it all up and post it on there. Maybe on TikTok that will work, but every platform has a different type of audience and a different type of consumer. So a long form video cut up into short form pieces is probably only going to get a couple hundred views. So the other flip side to this is going to be the short form with no audience. And the way you want to build up an audience with short form content is through ads, and that's paid advertising. And I'm not saying you need to use Ads Manager because that's kind of difficult. I've used Ads Manager for many, many years, and it's constantly changing. It's not the easiest thing to do as a brand new person in social. I do not want you getting into this. If you guys would be interested in hopping on a one-on-one consult call, go ahead and click on the link in the description below. Book a call and we will sit down, look at your business, look at the strategy that would work best for you, because one type of content is for one type of personality, another type of personality, another type of content. So if you have a new business, YouTube might be better for you. If you have an old business with a big database, maybe short form content is the option for you. Set up a call with me. I would love to chat about your business and how we can help you grow it. So like I was saying, we do not want you to be using the Ads Manager because it's just too difficult. That's where you're going to want to optimize, set up retargeting ads, other type of advertising. When you're first starting out, all you're trying to do is build your organic funnel. And that's going to be done through boosted posts. So you're going to want to really focus on boosting, which is very, very simple. The AI within the boosting service is very, very powerful. It gets in front of the right people. You just need to have the right content. So how you are going to know if your content is the right piece of content to boost is by creating 90 videos, posting them all out. You can be boosting some of them, but what you want to do is see which video performs the best. So what you're going to want to do is test, rinse, and repeat. So with your 90 videos, post your 7 videos and schedule them out. Watch how they organically do over the next 7 days. One video is going to get 200, one's going to get 500, one's going to get 1,000, one's going to get 5,000 views. That video that did the best out of all of them is a video that's actually interesting to the algorithm. There are people who are interested in this piece of content. So what you're going to want to do is put paid traffic behind that one, because what's going to happen, it's going to get you a lower cost per click. So what I mean by this is when you're running ads, you have 3 options. You can run ads with the goal of getting messages. You can run ads with the goal of visiting your website, and you can run ads with the goal of visiting your profile. I prefer profile visits because when you want messages, you're going to be paying a lot more because it's very difficult to get someone to send you a message from an ad. Therefore, you're going to be spending a lot of budget before you get one action. Versus if you get someone to click into your profile, it's very easy to do that through an ad. So you're going to get a low cost because it's going to get a result very, very quickly. And it's going to optimize and get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Versus with messages, you're going to spend $10, $20 before you get a message in. And then it's going to optimize based off of that, getting you less views and getting you less followers. Your goal with this is just to get a lot of followers through paid ads. So what I like to do is run ads on the video that did the best and let it get you followers. People are going to start following you on Instagram now, and let that run for as long as you can afford to. You want to make sure that you can spend an unlimited budget. So make sure that your budget is something you can afford. $5 a day, $3 a day, $10 a day, $100 a day, if you can afford to do this endlessly. Because as soon as you stop running your ads, you're going to stop growing, but you're going to be building up an audience as you are running these ads. So as you do grow, you can spend less and less because your organic audience is getting bigger because more people are following you and are organically going to see your content in the future. This is if you really want to supercharge your content. So I'm going to make a total separate video on boosting your posts and how to build your audience faster. But that's the basics behind it for short form content. On the long form side of things, we want to organically push our videos out on YouTube and not post them to Facebook and not post them to Instagram, because what we want the YouTube algorithm to do is to optimize for people who are actually interested in your video. If you're sending traffic to your YouTube videos, it's going to confuse the algorithm and it's going to start looking for people similar to the people who have watched your video, people who already know you. You don't want more people who know you to watch your YouTube videos. You want the algorithm to optimize to the new people who find your video through the targeted YouTube algorithm. So I think you guys understand this. I think there was enough in the visualization period of how it all works. We can go ahead and get into the computer and show you guys how we plan content and how we set up a content system. So hopping into the next portion of this video, we're going to show you how I go about ideation and planning my content. So the first thing we want to do is we want to sign up for 2 services. You can use just one of them if you want. I like to use a mixture of these 2. One is better at pages specifically, and one is better at group organization. So on my computer here, we have 2 tabs. We have Notion and we have Asana. So Asana is where I like to dump all of my ideas so I can see an overview of all of the videos we have in the roster, where they're at. And I like to build this out so I can organize different ideas, times, due dates, all of that sort of stuff. And then within Notion, I can actually go ahead and plan out specific videos. You can do this and build this right into Asana if you prefer to do that. I just like Notion, and I built this template out. I'll give it to you guys. If you guys have any interest in it, go ahead and click on the link in the description below. You can duplicate this and start using it for yourself. So getting into this here, what I like to do is I have these 3 tabs. So what I like to do is I have these 3 tabs open at all times: ChatGPT, Asana, Notion, and YouTube, especially when I'm planning out my YouTube videos. What I like to do first is I like to work off of what's already working, because it makes no sense to create brand new video ideas. You don't know if they're going to get views. You don't know if people are searching them. So what I like to do is head over to YouTube and look up my niche. As a real estate agent, what you want to be focusing on if you're creating content to farm a specific neighborhood is your specific neighborhood. So we live in Canada here, so I'm going to search Toronto and base all of this off of Toronto. I do know a couple of YouTubers in this search engine already, so I'm comfortable showing you guys and showing you how we're going to see what's working and how we're going to be able to pull ideas from this. So what I like to do is go on YouTube and type in moving to Toronto. And we're just going to search that right here, and we're going to see what pops up. You can do different things. You can filter this by channels. And what you can now see is all of the different channels that are ranking. I work with this guy right here. I've worked with a couple of people who will rank on the search term already. But what we're going to do is we're going to look for people who have followers, 497 followers. It's not as good as some of the other ones. For example, 13.8K subscribers, 2.3 thousand subscribers. And you can just keep on scrolling. 4.3 thousand subscribers. And we can look up different neighborhoods. So say you live in a smaller town and nothing's popping up. Search towns within your region. For example, say you lived in the States, moving to Dallas. I know there's a big amount of channels doing this as well. It's very difficult if you do different countries as opposed to the one that you're living in, because some of the video ideas just don't work because the way that things are said in your region is going to be said differently. So the search term of it all, like types of houses, something that might be called a duplex in one place is called something else somewhere else. I'm trying to think of other ways of explaining that, like the IRS and the tax system. It's completely different from Canada. So here is a great channel to be able to build off of if you are in the States. And then if you were in Toronto, you can see what's working on there. So as you can see, we're seeing a common theme with the don't move to videos. You obviously want to name your channel something about moving to, relocate to, some sort of value so people understand what your channel is. You're going to want to build a banner that's very clean and it kind of explains exactly what you do. New videos weekly. It's got all of his contact information, states his name, states the name of the channel, so you get an easy understanding that this is a relocation guide channel. And subscribe and enable notifications so you get notified. So this is a great banner to look at and build off of. I would build off of this within Photoshop, or if you guys want to hire my team, we do build banners and thumbnails already. That's a totally separate video. But these are things you're going to want to set up before you really start pumping out videos. But it's important to understand what videos you're going to create so that you know and you feel confident going into all of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this video here. And we're not just going to steal the whole video. We're just going to steal the title. And we're just going to steal the basis of the title. We're not going to just copy this, change the state, and then post it in there. We're going to go over to Asana. We're going to dump that into our list, and we're going to manipulate it. So we're going to focus on moving to Flamborough. That's the neighborhood that I live in, and that's the area that I will personally farm. So Flamborough. So now we know the base idea that we're going to be creating content for. And what I would say to do is go ahead and build out 52 videos. So you know for the next year, every video that you need to create. It allows you to create momentum. And when you start planning this content, you can do it in bulk. And it makes things a lot easier. So what I would do is always focus on videos that are the most popular, not the latest, the most popular videos, because these are popping up on specific search engines. So if you looked up "Don't Move to Texas," his videos right here. His videos, other people's videos, and build off of them. Don't steal the idea, steal the concept, because you know it's working. So for example, if you're in the States, this is a great guy to build off of. You go into his most popular videos, see what other videos are very popular. So pros and cons of living in Dallas, places in Dallas you must visit. Moving to Dallas ain't for everyone. So you can explain the facts of who shouldn't be living in your town. Remember, people want to build trust with you. So talking about the negatives is a positive thing. You don't have to think of it, oh, I'm being negative about my neighborhood. People aren't going to want to sell with me, because you need to be honest. People want to trust you. And you have to remember, a lot of the people coming through this are going to be buyers. They're not going to be sellers. With sellers, we want to do things like advertising. So in order to get a good amount of buyers coming in, you want to be honest with people. You want to give them the good, the bad, the ugly, everything they need to know when relocating to your area. So we're going to go ahead and take the pros and cons title, and we're going to add that to a tasker. And I guarantee you, any of these people that you are going to be taking ideas from has done this already. They steal ideas, or they steal concepts from other channels. As long as you're not totally ripping off the video, you're totally fine. So another tool we use is Comb, and what Comb does is it allows you to generate the transcript from video. So I went ahead and I took the YouTube URL from here, opened up Comb and pasted it here. And what you're going to want to do is click on generate, and it's going to spit out the full transcript to the video. You're going to go ahead and copy this transcript here. You can go ahead and post it into your video idea, or you can post it within ChatGPT. This is one of my favorite things to do. I like to be using the O1 preview because it's the most updated version of ChatGPT. It's got a 120 IQ score, so it's smarter than any other AI. And what we're going to do is we're going to feed it the script, and then I'm going to explain to it what is going on. So this is a script. We're going to submit that, and what it's going to do is it's going to think a little bit, and then it's going to generate the video idea. What it's going to do is it's going to do its thinking, and then it's going to go ahead and spit out the framework. Now, ChatGPT is great for building things like frameworks and setting up how you should be planning your videos, but it's not the greatest at writing the scripts. So I wouldn't go ahead and say, hey, write me a script, because it's not going to spit out the best information. It's going to be very, very basic. You as a realtor for that area should already understand what the pros and cons are, but you want to make sure that you're following a framework so that your videos are high value. So as you can see here, it's got the opening scene. It's going to explain what you should get for B-roll, the engaging hook. So the first thing you're going to notice when you step foot in Flamborough is breathtaking natural beauty that surrounds you. That's the hook to this video. Then we're going to go into sharing a quick anecdote about my experience moving and visiting Flamborough. So that's why I love this, because it gives you a framework of how to mimic this video. And you can go ahead and take this and build off of it. So what I like to do is I like to leave this within Asana, and then I like to move over to my Asana board. We're going to take the video idea, which is the pros and cons of living in Flamborough. We're going to open it up inside of our Notion template, and we're going to write it here in our idea section, just so we have the basics of it. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to go and create all of the thumbnails that would correspond with this title. That's a completely separate video. I use a program called Leonardo.ai for generating my AI images. I'm going to open one of these up here so that you can see. This is what a thumbnail that I would use for YouTube looks like. It is AI generated. There's the CN Tower right there. I just take arrows and stuff from Google. I put text in it to make it very thought-provoking. The most important thing is you want to make sure the video that you're creating corresponds with the title and the thumbnail, because that's the first thing people see. So what I like to do is I like to generate the title and the thumbnail first, and then I like to build from there to make sure that we are delivering what is said in that title and thumbnail. Because if we can get a bunch of clicks on our thumbnail and our title, but people don't watch our video, it's going to hurt our watch time, therefore not having our video pushed further. So what I like to do is I like to split test my thumbnail. So I like to create 4 variations of it. And then when you're uploading to YouTube, you can upload 3 variations. And what that's going to allow you to do is compare and test which thumbnail does best. It's going to spit out different versions with the same title and your thumbnails. And what's going to happen is YouTube's going to optimize and decide which thumbnail is best performing. The next thing you're going to want to do here is outline the video idea. So we can go ahead and take that from our Asana and take the outline of it all and share that right here in our outline. It just makes it very easy to understand what we're going to be creating content about. Within here, we want to make sure that we're drafting our story. I like to use the hero journey when telling stories because people want to be following along and building hype and falling in love with the story of it all. So one step further that most people aren't doing is frameworking out their video. So what I would do next is build my script out. We're just going to get ChatGPT to spit out a script for us here to make this video much faster. I highly suggest not doing this because your videos are going to be very boring, not as high value as what you could probably add to it. Maybe use this as a starting point, but make sure that you are improving this. So now we have a script here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take that script, go and click on the hero journey right here. We're going to take all of this info and we're going to load this into ChatGPT as well. I'm going to give it the framework. And what it's going to do is it's going to spit out the script a little bit differently. And what this allows you to do is to make the video more interesting, more engaging, because it's going to be telling a story in waves. You want it to be taking people up. You want to be bringing people down. You want to be using your voice and the tonality within your voice to tell a very engaging story. And as you can see here, it's now spitting it out in the framework. It's going to be able to use the main basis to kind of guide you through it. So, I was living my everyday life in the hustle and bustle of the city. Traffic jams, endless noise, the constant rush. But one day I came across some photos of Flamborough, the breathtaking white chalk cliffs, the serene beaches, the lush green countryside. It was like something awakened me. I felt the inexplicable pull, a call to adventure, urging me to explore this hidden gem. You can play with this framework. You could pull it back so it's not as intense as what it's spitting out. But obviously, like I was saying, you want to work with these scripts. You want to make them sound like it's something that you would say, but you want to play with the frameworks because the frameworks is what's going to allow you to get better watch time within your videos. So that's how I would go about planning my videos. I'm going to do a whole other video on scripting. I know this was a very short part of this video, but it's very important for you to understand the ideation period, the planning of your content, and building out all of your video ideas before you even get started, because what this is going to do is light a fire under your ass to get now started on all of these. And then you can build it into your calendar. So every Monday you're filming, you can send them to your video editor. If you don't have a video editor and you need a video editing team, go ahead and click on the link below, book a call with us because we do have an editing team. And I guarantee you that we have the lowest cost with some of the highest value delivered within our video editing service. So if you guys are interested in our video editing team, go ahead and check that down below. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been Cam. In the next video, we're going to be talking about the gear you need to start creating content just like this. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like, subscribe. If you're new around the channel, let us know in the comment section below what we should do a tutorial on. It's been Cam. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you guys later.